Hey guys, what's up? It's Looney TNT. So today we're going to talk about some RNG in Legion. So if you've had good experiences with this, you're going to be like, it's amazing. If you had bad experiences, you're going to be like, oh, this sucks. If you had both, you're going to be like, meh, right? So let's talk about RNG and what I feel about it in Legion. Do I think there's too much of it? It's kind of hard to say. The reason it's hard to say is because there's gear that drops, and you know, it can be Titan Forged or Warforged, as like this ring right here. I got off of doing 5 time walking dungeons. I got a piece of loot, and it Titan Forged up to an 870. Well, that's pretty good. And then I did a, was it a mythic? Yes, it was a mythic. And I got another Titan Forged ring with, it was a 870, which is pretty good, right? But the RNG has not granted me with a legendary. And that hurts, right? I think the Titan Forging and things like that with the War Forging, you know, I think those are awesome bonuses to keep us engaged with content. I can do a, where is this trinket? I got a trinket. Here it is. I did a heroic, and it Titan Forged into an 865. The trinket's kind of, right? But it Titan Forged to an 865. I would have got an 825. That is amazing. So it keeps you doing content, right? Obviously, the artifact power keeps me doing it too. But, and that's where I think the good part about it is, right? If you're a newer player and you're like, all right, let's do a mythic, or well, let's say a heroic, and all of a sudden you get an 840 piece out of there, or any or epic at all. You're like, the player's like, oh, I got an epic. This is amazing. So, and then they continue to go. It's very unlikely that you're going to get an 890 out of a heroic, right? But it's a possibility. You might be able to, and I think that's pretty cool. The part that I don't like is going after those legendaries that are RNG, right? Those are pretty frustrating, especially when you're doing, like, I'm working on the work order right now to have 2 legendaries equipped. That kind of sucks. I'm like, ugh, am I really working on that right now? I don't even got 1. And then, like, let's say you get a legendary and boom, it's a ring or a neck. Oh, that hurts too, right? But well, I guess there might be some necks and rings that are fairly decent for different players and classes. But the RNG for the legendaries are very weird, because legendaries, you're supposed to feel like, oh, I got a legendary. But if you get a ring that's like, or just a garbage legendary that's not really good for you, it's like, ugh. And the reason I'm saying rings or necks is because they don't have any stat bonuses on it. They have secondary stats, and they also have stamina. If you got an 895 that had agility or something like that, you're like, oh, okay. But if you get like a ring or a neck and it's not good for you, man, it sucks. It feels bad. I feel legendaries, if you don't have a legendary right now, and I'm sure a lot of you guys don't have legendaries, maybe a lot of you guys do, which is amazing. If you don't have a legendary, you kind of feel behind, right? You're like, man, I can't get this. The legendary will also boost up your eye level, which my eye level is 860 out of 859, as you can see currently on the screen, right there. I feel that's an okay eye level. I don't think it's amazing. Like, eye level matters so much in this game. It's ridiculous. It's really stupid how much eye level determines stuff in this game. When you're going after mythic pluses and things, you have to have a high eye level to get into these groups. It doesn't matter if you're the best player in the world. if they don't see a high item level, they're going to take someone else over you because they have a higher item level. So eye level has a lot to do with it, and that 895 is going to boost your eye level quite a bit. And I don't agree with people having, you know, 2, 3 legendaries, and a majority of the population in World of Warcraft has not even seen one. Very, very frustrating about the RNG on that aspect. But like I said, they do have good RNG. They do have the Titan Forging. I love the Titan Forging system. I love the fact that you could be doing anything and get an amazing piece of gear that you can use. And it's like, oh, well, this was worth it. You know, because right now at the point of running heroics, you know, I run heroics for the artifact power. And, you know, there's nothing that I need in there. But I have a chance at a legendary. Yeah, right. I think they don't even exist in heroics. And I also have a chance for something to Titan Forge. So, you know, if it Titan Forges like crazy, it's going to be super beneficial. If it doesn't, well, that sucks. You know, it is what it is. But I'm still able to do it with a chance of maybe getting a piece of gear. I really like that. And then you get that carry DPS in those heroics that just kill everything really fast, and it makes the heroic nice and easy. And then you go into Mythics. Mythics are the same way. Mythics have the ability to Titan Forge. And, you know, because right now, I don't know if I'd be running Mythics. I know it gives the Legendary chance, I think. But the best chance that you have, in my opinion, right now, is for Mythic Plus Dungeons, which, man, I've had so many fall through today. Not even today, yet last night. This morning, a couple fell through. That's a whole nother video on I hate people leaving Mythic Plus Dungeons. You still get gear at the end. You know what I mean? It's like, let's just complete it. I know that maybe the tank and the healer are arguing because they shouldn't have pulled that. But guess what? It is what it is. That's a whole different video. You know, we'll talk about that too. But RNG, too much RNG in Legion? I think so. I think so. I think there's a little bit too much RNG with things like that, you know, especially with World Quest. Oh man, I play Havoc Demon Hunter. I don't tank at all, and it frustrates me when I see like an amazing relic and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, oh, it's for tank. I don't tank, so I'm like, why would they even pop that up on my World Quest if I don't even play that spec? And like people like Guardian or something, or Druids that have like 4 different specs, I can imagine that's really frustrating for you guys. So it is what it is. Alright guys, that's about it. That's my little complain-a-runo. I think there's a little bit too much RNG, but I do think there is some good RNG also. It is what it is. I'll cry tomorrow about not having a legendary, and I'll keep crying until I get one. So that's about it. Alright guys, if you guys made it this far into the video, what I want you to do is I want you to leave a comment. Do you have a legendary, and is it good for you, and were you excited to get it when you saw it? I'm sure you guys were like, oh, legendary! But then you saw it was a ring, and it's like, oh, this is my worst one. You know what I mean? It heals me. Oh, well, I'm a DPS. So, is what it is. Alright, and like always, like, favorite, share, subscribe, do whatever you guys gotta do, and I'll talk to you guys soon.